it's a production number, and we all have to all throw ourselves into it. And I've never understood why we haven't continued. Why did I not continue doing that sort of thing? Even I tend to sort of still say, oh, but that's a production show. Production numbers there, and you separate your pop from your production. But maybe it's because pop rock became so big, you could do a production number and it could be a rock and roll song. It didn't have to be a kind of straight out of Variety. Whereas in those days, you remember the Shadows and I started and we were on the cusp. In fact, some of our big shows in the early days, we topped the bill at the Finsbury Park Empire, and it would be a variety bill. There would be jugglers, contortionists, all sorts of people, and we would be the musical entity that would top the bill. So we were right on that cusp, and so it was natural to fuse us with the works of Ronnie Cass, Peter Myers, who wrote most, if not all, of those early production songs.
What a crazy outfit. Miguel and his Spanish camera, this lot, Edward Bunty and me, Johnny, and Jenny who doesn't even know she's in the film. And out of this motley lot, you're going to make a movie?
But Jerry, that's exactly what it takes. To get anything done, you need all kinds of people.
What did you say?
I said all kinds of people.
Me?
Hey, you! If I've got a hammer and you got some wood, now a hammer alone without no wood, that ain't no good. But put them together and wham, bam, pow, and that's a house we're building now. Now I didn't know you.
No, you never met me.
But here are we in harmony, and there's a new house standing on the ground. For it takes all kinds of people working together to make this whole world go round.
Gillian Lynn must have seen the previous movies and seen what I could or couldn't do. She was not prepared to let me do what I had done in the other films, though. She actually pushed me further. I always feel that there were dance routines there that I had no right being part of. And even then, there are moments when you see, and it's very clever, they do it in all sorts of movies, that when it comes to the part that it's actually it's beyond your competence, beyond your ability, you're taken out of the shot in some flurry of movement, which looks great, and then they go and shoot the real dance.
Maybe Greek or French or Spanish. When you dance, the frontiers vanish.
When I became a film star, it was a very exciting time. You kept seeing things on television and other people's movies, of chairs like this, with director written, or the film star's name. And suddenly the Shadows and I would come into the set, and there would be Cliff Richard, Hank Marvin, and we'd have our chairs, we'd have our own chairs, and we'd have our own dressing rooms, no longer sharing dressing rooms. If you were late filming on location, you had a hotel. You didn't have to go and find your own digs. Now, those are the things that we had done in the previous year or two. When the Shadows and I were on tour, we slept in digs very, very often because we couldn't afford the hotels. So stardom brought with it a treatment that was absolutely phenomenal. Don't let anybody tell you any different. There's nothing better than being absolutely mollycoddled first class.
If I had a talking picture of you, I would run it every time I felt blue. I would sit there in the gloom of my lonely little room and applaud each time you...
Yes, the musical had sprung to life, and with its birth came the greatest collection of beautiful women the world had ever seen. Master showmen scoured the earth in their pursuit. From near and far, girls were brought to face the motion picture cameras. They were exciting, enchanting, but above all, they were exquisitely feminine.
I would give 10 shows a day and a midnight matinee if I had a talking picture of you.
The best piece of filming in Wonderful Life is 21 minutes long, and it's us impersonating various stars, from Charlie Chaplin up to Sean Connery's James Bond. So although I I pipped him at the post during the Young Ones and got voted Film Star of the Year, we did pay them the compliment of realizing that he was a major, major step in the world of cinema.
And so, to the cinema of today, adult and mature, an industry who keeps faith with its public, who knows that its word is as good as its bond.
Well, there you are then. That's it. That's the movies. That's what it's all about.
When I look back on it now, I'm so glad I had that attitude of saying, look, let's just be a gang. Let's just have fun together. So that when, in fact, we weren't required, we'd all be huddled up in the same caravan, talking, laughing, deciding what we're going to eat that night, all that sort of thing. We were just a little gang together. So the boring times weren't boring. We actually entertained each other. And that's how it went on for all the movies that I made. Because there is a lot of hanging around. Wonderful Life would have been sort of 63, 64 period. I'd already been singing for 6, 7 years. And I still get it now. I mean, when you think that even now I'm still known as the Peter Pan of pop, it was beginning to be a little wearing, to be honest with you, to have no other outlet other than to be this shiny-faced, happy little soul. And it didn't look as though, certainly in the movie, that I was ever going to be asked to do anything but be that.
The sun like an old tomcat that don't know just where he's at. And I must admit to you, right now I feel that way too. Ain't got nowhere, ain't got nowhere to go. What it won't know, and time drags by real slow.
I thought the music was good. I loved the music in it, as I liked the music in Take Me High, but in each case it seemed to me that the films couldn't live up to what we'd already done.
What a day it's been, and it's getting worse. There must be a way to reverse situations such as these. If there is, then tell us please. Ain't got nowhere, got nowhere to go. Time drags by real slow. Don't you just know that time drags by real slow?
Are those them?
Yeah.
Heaven help us.
We filmed that in Pinewood. I don't know whether they built the set for us. It was probably been used in multiple movies, but we actually had a sort of Spanish village built. That must have cost quite a bit to think about it, but of course they probably did sell it off, and I'm sure we've seen it in a lot of other movies.
Doesn't your grandmother get lonely up here?
No, why should she? Look out!
Well, I hope your grandmother's friendlier than that.
She is. Come and see for yourself.